I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. JTA Game Day Express is back. Save gas and avoid parking hassles as the Jaguars take on the Chiefs this Monday. Let them do the driving. With multiple locations around town and passes starting at just $10 on the MyJTA app. To learn more, visit jtafla.com. jtafla.com. It's 80 degrees at 2 o'clock time in 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
It is a special edition of Helmets and Heels as we continue the party here at the Patriots Outpost for the 5th annual Constellation Furyk and Friends Golf Tournament. This 54-hole tournament, it's just a beautiful day to begin it. And certainly shout out to Jim Furyk, Tabitha Furyk, and everything that they do with the Furyk Foundation. And we're excited to be here. We are right around hole number 8 if y'all are out and about and want to come say hello.
Yes, it is beautiful out here. I have not been out. I was telling on the way here, I was like, the last year when Helmets and Heels was out here, I was in Chicago on vacation, so I missed it. And then previous years to that, we weren't the Daily Show yet, so I wasn't ever out here. So this is my first experience, and it's been already beautiful. I was a little worried about the rain, but it looks like we should be okay. And then I didn't know we're like right around houses also. I was like, people live right here. This is kind of wild. But
yeah, the
good view for them.
Timuquana is such a gorgeous, very, I would say, classic neighborhood, and certainly the golf course is wonderful. And the one, I guess, good/bad thing is it's been 5 years here at Timuquana, and every year's been great.
Yeah.
But next year we'll move on to a new location at Hammock Beach, and so I heard Jim Furyk on with Frank earlier this week talking about how it is a little bittersweet for them to move on from Timuquana after 5 great years, but certainly looking forward to a great tournament out here. And when you do hear cheers in the background, in case you missed XL Primetime, that's when there's a birdie, and that's when beers go on sale. And for every birdie, we have, I believe it is $2 beers.
Heck yeah.
So, heck yeah is right. Tom McManus will join us momentarily. We know that he is on a golf cart en route to the Patriots Outpost, so he'll be here shortly. But Taylor, let's start with the news yesterday of Trevon Walker. We know now that he ended up needing surgery. That's what I kind of wondered right when we saw that Jeremy Fowler reported that he was going to have to see a consultant. Typically, you only get another consultation outside of the Jaguars medical professionals. I feel like if surgery's involved, so he did have the surgery, but they haven't ruled him out for this Monday night ahead of the Chiefs game. So I feel like maybe there's a chance that he plays with the club on his hand, but it also wouldn't surprise me if he's held out of this game, similar to how we saw De'Ami Brown held out of the 49ers game. Yeah,
I think that, number one, it's probably the best news you could get out of this because it could be worse. And when we heard originally the week-to-week, which week-to-week sometimes turns into weeks and IR, and if it doesn't start healing properly and all of those things. So hearing the day-to-day and a possible for Monday is probably the best news you can get when you hear someone has surgery on a wrist. And we were talking about it a little bit with Tommy the other day about how these guys, they do need their grip and you would want them to have that. But if you feel like he can still perform at a high level and you're not in massive amount of pain, I think it's a lot of pain tolerance too, what he can handle. So then you go. But I could see them being a little hesitant on it just because you don't want to worsen anything. And I don't know this. I'm not the doctor. And a doctor would be able to tell them, the chances if you fall on it again, it gets worse or whatever the case may be. Those are the things that they're probably weighing right now, that and the pain tolerance.
Yeah, and I do think that this team is vastly different without Trevon Walker. Yeah. When you have 2 excellent edge rushers, it makes it more complicated for the offensive line to account for them. You can't just double one guy because then the other guy is going to end up wreaking havoc.
Here's Tommy. He made it.
He made it. But in this case, I do think Josh Hines-Allen is now going to have some double teams, and they're not going to have to worry as much about the other edge rusher opposite Josh Hines-Allen, which will be most likely, I would expect, DeJuan Smoot, and then certainly some Emmanuel Ogbah will play there as well. But yeah, now that Tom is here, we will let him say just how nice Timuquana is.
Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Holy moly. I feel like I've been all over the wilderness around here. What a beautiful spot,
It's a great setting, isn't it?
Absolutely. How you guys doing?
We are fantastic, and certainly we appreciate ViStar and the Patriots Outpost for having us out here. And, of course, we appreciate all of our military that have served this wonderful country. And
no doubt.
The fact that the fact that we're here today is another sign that Jacksonville is booming, by the way.
Yeah.
We're going to hear all
doubt.
this small market stuff on Monday, right? And we always hear it. That's why certain players like Fred Taylor isn't in the Hall of Fame, or Jimmy Smith is not going to get in the Hall of Fame. Tony Baselli, it took him so long. Yeah, we may be small market as far as like popularity and things like that. We're not small market as far as events go.
No.
We have the Players
Definitely
Championship.
not.
We have the Constellation Fierick and Friends. And Monday night, I've been hearing that those tickets are selling like hotcakes.
Oh, I heard them talking about it. They're opening up the standing room only for this game. So
It's
that's
been a minute for that since 2022.
And that's exactly what you want to hear. That's the vibes that you want. And I think that right now, Jags fans are pumped because we talk about some of the issues because that's our job. Our job is to still say some of the things that are right and wrong and whatever. But at the end of the day, this team's 3-1. You started breaking a lot of streaks that were an issue when it comes to the Texans at home, when it comes to the West Coast, when it comes to so there's all these these boxes that are starting to be checked of things that kind of have hovered over you for a while, and that it makes you feel a little free and happy.
Yeah, listen, I always look at our team and have for ever since I've been doing it, kind of like if I was coaching them, So when I watch film, I'm kind of grading them, and I expect more, it's fantastic. We're 3-1. We're ahead of the AFC South. We're doing great. We're tied with the Colts, right? And, we've got a huge game in front of us. It's absolutely, I got them winning. It's going to be a close game.
You finally decided.
Yeah, I did. I've been getting up early again. I have this thing during the week. I get up, I told you guys, like 4:45, 5 o'clock, and nobody else is up. And I was just kind of digging in. I was like, you know what? Here's a couple ways I think you can beat them. And if you do that, I think it's going to happen. But, listen, it is critical, and you should be critical. And guess what? They're critical inside the locker room. Yeah. They're critical inside the meetings. Liam Cohen's not going to be just satisfied with being 3-1. I mean, yeah, that's fantastic, and it's great. But guess what? There's things, and he's even said, we got to clean up some things. We got to get better at a few things because he knows as they get through the season, as they get stronger and stronger, he's getting them playoff ready. I mean, that's at a certain point of the season, it's time to get playoff ready. They're too early now, right? Obviously, it's too early after only 4 games. But, hey, man, they should feel good about themselves. They should feel confident. They know what they have to do to beat Mahomes. And we've seen it before, right? You got to get in his face and you got to corral him. You can't let him out of that pocket.
We've seen other teams do it.
We have.
We haven't quite seen
this
team do it. But yeah, I mean, I think for the listeners out there that don't like when hosts on our station are critical, I think
too bad
because they're just expecting the celebration because of how poor this team has been, and I understand that. But I think to your point, what we are looking to do is how does this team not just get to the playoffs, but eventually one day win a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And I know that we weren't talking that way in the offseason because we didn't know what to expect from Liam Cohen and the operation that he's going to lead and all the different, upheaval that they did with the roster. But now that they have shown that they can not just win close games, but they have a chance to sometimes put teams away. They haven't done it yet, but they have a chance to do that. Yeah, we've changed our thought process, and now we want to look at how are they going to beat a team like the Bills if that's a game that they square off, a team they square off against in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, listen, flip it to the other side. What do you think they said in San Fran all week before last night's game, or after our game? Man, we let that one slip away. Yeah. Man, we should have had that one. This should have happened, that should have happened, whatever the case may be. So, that's just part of the game. It's part of what we do. I said too bad. I mean, if you don't like, look, everybody, it's like nobody's above the law. Nobody's above, accountability, including us.
There's a birdie.
There you go. I mean, listen, I can speak for myself. I'm sure you guys echo it, but no one wants them to win more than me.
Yeah.
I mean, there may be people in the here and sitting next to me throughout Jacksonville that as much, there's no doubt, but you don't want it more than I do. I want to see them win. I know what it's like when you, as a player, when you win. It's absolutely phenomenal is what it is. Sorry, something, little bang. All that cheering got the equipment excited. But it is. It's special when it happens, and it's time for this organization to get back on that national map, man. It's awesome. And look, however Monday night goes, as long as it's close, again, I think they can pull it off. But as long as it's close and you can see, like, oh, man, this team's they're going to see them again in the playoffs, or they're going to see them again later. That's because you know how important it is nationally.
Yeah. Not
that we care. Like you said, the small market, when you live here and you're part of Jacksonville, I've been here 30 years now, like, They just don't know. They don't know. They don't spend enough time here. They really don't understand what Jacksonville is and what the Jaguars mean to the city. We're like Green Bay without the championships. It's that, that's how it ignites everything. That's what makes it special.
And the fans own that team.
Absolutely.
And while we don't own it, Taylor, I feel like there are Jaguars fans that feel just as invested
Damn
as part
right.
of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And should. They do. They travel with them. They go with them. They're so excited. The group that created the slab, I mean, that's grown to a humongous thing. I know they're trying to get Jason Kelce to stop. I hope he gets that message. And wouldn't that be great if he showed up? I've never been out to the slab. I don't know if you guys have been out there. I don't even know exactly where it is. But, they have a good time out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly where it is. And, they do have a great time. Jason Kelce on Monday night always does crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah. So, he's out there taking shots with people.
Exactly.
Shotgunning beers. He'll do the circle up. We'll see that for sure.
He needs to get out there. All right, we'll keep the Jaguars conversation going. You are listening to Helmets and Heels live from the Patriots Outpost, presented by ViStar at the 5th Annual Constellation Furyk and Friends Golf Tournament. It's 10-10 on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels from the Greenlaw Group Studios. How does number 9 feel about number 16?
All right, here we go.
Find out when David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony. Mondays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Baselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags.
Crown Royal Friday. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Get ready, poker players. The World Poker Tour is coming back to Best Bet Jacksonville from October 30th through November 18th. It's your chance to become a World Poker Tour champion with 14 different poker tournaments to play, including the Best Bet Scramble, a $5,000 no-limit hold'em main event with a $1 million guarantee. Satellites and mega satellites are going on now at Best Bet Jacksonville. For the full WPT schedule and more information, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
You'll get your weekly dose of Miami football on the Hurricane Report.
From South Beach to Jax Beach, stay on A1A for the latest from Miami on the Hurricane Report.
Proudly protected by Performance Painting on 1010XL.
Hey, Jaguars fans, Crown Royal is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars this season. It's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing that generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with the generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more information on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Hey, man, please drink responsibly.
Jeff Lagerman for Napa Auto Care Centers. This football season, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or travel to the away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any one of the 29 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions. Napa Auto Care Centers offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find one near you at jacksnapaautocare.group.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
1010XL is your home for Florida Gators football. Protected by the law firm of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Follow every Gators game on 1010XL.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Welcome back to Helmets and Heels, live at the ViStar Patriots Outpost for the 5th annual Constellation Furyk and Friends. All right, we've talked a ton this week about a certain defensive coordinator. That would be Steve Spagnuolo. Obviously, we always talk a lot about Jaguars defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile, but I did want everyone to hear what both Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence had to say when it comes to going up against Steve Spagnuolo. So we'll start with Liam Cohen, but I do want to let everyone know before I play this clip when he's talking about Spags zeroed him 3 different times, or 3 times in a row. One time, that's a zero blitz. So that's max pressure, no deep safeties, and the DBs are man-to-man. So just wanted to explain that. But here's Liam Cohen talking about going up against Spags.
Anywhere and everywhere. He definitely puts a lot of pressure on you as an offense, as a play caller, your quarterback to be able to see it pre-snap. What's the picture going to be post-snap? Zero checks. Right, you got to be zero ready at all times, and it could be back to back to back. I think he zeroed me like 3 times in a row last year at one point. A lot of respect for the position that he puts his players in, the attacking mindset that they play with. It's a great opportunity for us this week.
Yeah, zeroed him 3 times in a row. You don't see that too often.
That's pretty aggressive, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, that's bringing the house, and I love it. I remember the old Jimmy Johnson for Philadelphia. Remember that defense coordinator? Mm-hmm. He would bring 9. He would have no problem bringing 8, 9. You're just like, what do you do? Now, granted, you can if you don't have good, strong corners that can play press and man-to-man, you're in trouble. But, man, if you can get some good lockdown, cornerbacks like Philly did have back then, and Bobby Taylor, or your Notre Dame guy, who comes to mind, but you got to have that. But yeah, that's aggressive talk, and I like that. But you can burn that, again, if you can get your guy, a little shake, doesn't get jammed, gets off the jam, what have you. But you got to be on the same page. Remember, we tried it a little bit. We didn't bring 9. We brought, I think, 7. Who was that again? Against Cincy, right? Yeah. And then they threw that long pass down the side because we didn't press our guys. Always got to be on the same page. I remember Spags, was it last year or the year before, they highlighted him. I want to say it was during maybe before the Super Bowl. What he does with his safeties. He rotates them like a clock, and you're like, they're interchangeable, so you don't know what they're doing and what coverage they're in, and the way he does. Now you got a lot of movement. Those guys got to be in great condition, but that always throws you off. Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
I feel like people have to be, at this point, watching what Philly did to their defense last year, though, if you're trying to find any secret recipe to take advantage of things, because there was nothing the defense could do against, and it wasn't like Jalen was just running all day. He was passing the ball. They were doing everything on all levels, and so I do think that there's ways to take advantage of that, but you do have to put a lot of trust in your quarterback when you're going up against this Spags defense.
Yeah, the offense got obviously super frustrated. And yeah, the one thing that you can do to mirror the Eagles is get to the quarterback with your front 4.
Yeah.
Right.
But now that the Jaguars, like we were just talking about in the last segment, they're not going to have Trevon Walker. So that does change what the offense's game plan is going to be. I say that. Trevon Walker may not play. He may play with a club on his hand. He may not play. We don't know that part yet. My gut tells me that he's probably not going to play. And I heard Ryan O'Halloran on Duval Rundown, Mark Long on Duval Rundown this morning say, in talking to Josh Hines Allen in the locker room yesterday, it sounded like he wasn't going to play. So I guess that's what's in my head.
Tommy, if he plays and he has the club on his hand, how much is that a limitation?
Is it his left hand or right hand? I think it's his left hand. If it's his inside hand, I'd move him to the other side so he can keep it outside. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want that newly fresh, broken surgically repaired wrist on the inside that can get double teamed, smash and whatnot. I'd want it outside free. So, and Josh could play. They can flip-flop. That's not a big deal. I tell you what, I'm looking at Devin Lloyd to be an X factor. Congrats on, Defensive Player of the Month. He's going to be strong in helping stopping the run, but he's also I think can get after Patrick Mahomes, and now that Trevon may be not playing, like in passing downs, put him up there. He can rush from the edge. Yeah. He's shown that, but I also think, and I don't think just him, and this is going to be up to Campanile to be like Spagnuolo and disguise. Like, is he spying? Mahomes, you know what? No, it's Wingard. You know what I mean? Like kind of things like that. Because one thing that you see out of Kansas City so far this year, look, Mahomes got 7 touchdowns, 1 pick. 4 came last week against the depleted Baltimore Raven defense. It's still good, but let's keep it in perspective. You know what I mean? And if you can keep him inside that pocket, easier said than done. He's their leading rusher for a reason. He takes off and runs. He'll take off. But if you can corral him, and if you have a spy, I tell you what, I'd be like, listen, Devin, you want to hunt tonight? How hungry are you? Pretend he's a big, like one of those gigantic porterhouse steaks, and you're going to eat them all night long. He's got the perfect seasoning for you. It's like the best
salt and pepper
you'll ever have in your life.
That's all you need, right?
Go get him. Because, listen, you could do that, too, especially if you drop back. They play a lot of zone. You could do that. Remember I told you a play way back when backside linebacker cover 2 and they breaks contain, just go get him. Yeah. In a similar fashion. Like, you're not just going to go get him, but at certain points when you're sitting there in a hole and nobody's around and he breaks out, just go get him because he can extend. He can get the first down. He can extend it to throw the football. Yeah. But if you corral that and get that inside pressure like we're talking about, like Philly did, it could really frustrate him, and we've seen it. We've absolutely seen it.
All right, here's the quarterback. Since we just heard from Liam Cohen on Steve Spagnuolo, here's the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, on playing against Spagnuolo's defense.
He's a great D coordinator and play caller, and his defenses are always, I think it's just the feeling of like chaos of the defense, of like you never quite know what they're going to bring because they've shown so many different things, but they're pretty. I shouldn't say pretty sound. They're very sound defensively as far as, especially for all the different pressures they bring. A lot of times when teams do that, you feel like there's kind of holes everywhere, but they do a good job of, matching different route concepts and playing different coverages that give them some flexibility in what they can bring. So they do a great job, always have. It's always a big week as far as game plan wise of what we're going to do and having a plan going in.
Yeah. Well, we do know this. Trevor likes to throw to his first read a lot. So you would think Spag's going to figure something that out, at least early, and then see how they react counter to that, and then do they counter. That's where the chess match comes in. But at the end of the day, no matter what your game plan is or your play call, if you're getting beat up front, you got a chance, to win this game. So it's going to be a physical game. That's one thing. Our guys, they've really been physical. The whole line's been physical.
And they're going to have to be against Chris Jones, by the way.
For sure.
Well, listen.
And George.
Carflitis. Did I get it right?
Karlaftis.
Listen, he's been on a tear. Yeah. Okay, that'll help me. He's been on a tear lately. 11 QB hits in 2 games with 2 sacks. You got to watch him. I remember him coming out of Purdue. I remember him being a pretty, good prospect and whatnot. And he's turned out to be heck of a defensive end overall. Here's the concern. We don't want Chris Jones to come alive all of a sudden. He really hasn't dominated anything yet. He's been good. He's obviously the presence is there. They're not good at stopping the run, but they're really good on third down, like 34%. They're wicked good at that. That has
Jaguars
to do with
not
on third down. Not
that can
offense.
Change just because of the first 4 games it hasn't gotten.
It could change.
They haven't been on the same page. They can get on the same page.
That's one thing that I feel like about this matchup. It's almost opposite strengths and weaknesses that are going up, because we're talking about the Jags are able to run the ball very well. The Kansas City Chiefs haven't been able to run the ball very well. The Jags defense has stopped the run pretty well,
decently,
and the Kansas City Chiefs haven't been able to really get the run going whatsoever. We've seen Xavier Worthy lead in rushing yards and Patrick Mahomes lead the team in rushing yards, and so they haven't been able to figure out that side of things. So it's going to be 2 teams kind of pushing each other's weaknesses and seeing who can kind of pull into a higher level of what they've been struggling with this year.
Yeah. Even that, like you're saying, Lauren. Even though they're giving up 4.9 a carry, I know they shut down the Chargers running game. The others, they got them. Scatterbo had a decent game against them. They gave up carry pretty high to him, from the Giants. But they can show up. They got that rookie that we liked, Norman Lott, the kid from Tennessee.
I like him a lot.
Right, he's a big guy. Obviously, you've got Mike. Is it Penna coming back? He's been a defensive end. Dana, thank you. I love this show. I tell you what, I love it. And but he's
I'm a
coming
visual
off
person.
Yeah.
So when I look at depth charts, I feel like I can somewhat can sink in until the next week, and then the next team.
It's like replaced by
correct.
them.
Everybody's out. The new guys are in. Yeah, no, it's a stout defense, and I heard you on Jaguars today talking about the linebackers too. Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquill are some of the best in the league. Bolton for sure.
Yeah.
It's a defense that we just heard, like I said, both Liam and Trevor talk about how complicated
chaotic
it can be.
Right.
And so the communication is going to be key, but that's why it's hopefully going to be an advantage that they're at home.
Here's what's where they're very similar points. Both teams score about 24. Both teams give up about 18, 19. So they're pretty close.
So don't take the over. I don't know what the over-under is. Don't take the over.
I think it's 3.5 right now.
You mean the spread?
Oh, the spread, right.
The over-under would be more than 3.5.
Right, that's right.
That would be a very boring game.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
I thought that Travis Etienne caused the injury for Trevor Walker earlier this week. So, hey, to each their own. All right, time now for Tom's takeaways.
Now,
okay, it's go time.
Tommy's Takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
Well, my takeaway today has to do with the Constellation Furyk and Friends tournament out here. I've been at Timuquana before. Believe it or not, I played Timuquana before.
Was it difficult?
Yeah, of course. For me, it was awful. I probably gave up after 12 holes, something like that.
Well, it's very windy today, so I think that is the challenge for sure.
Absolutely, but like Lauren was saying earlier, it just showcases our great city once again. I mean, you think about it. I think about driving in from, Neptune Beach out here to Timuquana, and it's like a different world, but you're so close to home. It's absolutely fantastic. The people out here, see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of friends out here, and it's just awesome that it's right here in the neighborhood. It's like TPC, but you got to get used to TPC. I do anyway. You don't have to go into it for so many years, but this is really cool. It just showcases how awesome a city that Jacksonville really is. And you know what? All you outsiders out there, you national people that think you really don't know squat when it comes to our city unless you spend a lot of time here and get to know it. Because I tell you, as a guy that's been here 30 years, I absolutely love the city of Jacksonville. And I hope I don't ever have to live anywhere else, and I can live in Neptune Beach for the rest of my life. And that would be A-OK by me. And that is my takeaway today, brought to you by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Yeah, my aunt and uncle live out here in Ortega, and I mean, it's like the beach, just about 40 minutes away or so, but as far as the cute neighborhood vibes, the live oak trees, they've got obviously the St. Johns River nearby,
and
and
still got the water.
Yeah, they have the water, which by the way, you can take water taxis over here from downtown here to Timuquana.
Right.
It's a little windy.
Water was looking a little wild out there.
I saw some white caps there on the river, so maybe not today, but hopefully the wind comes down tomorrow. But either way, we appreciate them having us out here, and really appreciate ViStar and the Patriots Outpost as well. We've got more football to discuss. Lawrence Lane coming up on the other side. It's Helmets and Heels on 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Protected by
Green Law Group. For the insured. Fighting for you.
When it comes to your utility bill, JEA wants to help you use less so you can save more. We offer a variety of free programs, like efficiency and irrigation assessments that'll teach you ways to conserve energy and water around your home. Our alerts will let you know when your utility usage has reached a set amount, and our rebates can help you save when upgrading to more efficient appliances and equipment. Find even more ways to save at JEA.com.
Helmets and Heels.
Sipping on a Crown Royal Friday.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, we do it all. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Hey guys, Taylor Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. It's a sauce kind of football season with Chick-fil-A chicken strips. Each crispy, juicy bite only gets better when you choose your favorite sauces to dip into and create your own flavor combinations. Will it be sriracha and ranch, honey and buffalo, barbecue, and Chick-fil-A sauce? With 21 different sauce pairings possible, it's easy to go on a flavor adventure. Order in a 4-count, 10-count, or in a catering tray. Get an order started today in the Chick-fil-A app and dip on in.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
These days, guys who go engagement ring shopping have a really good idea of what she wants.
I was looking for something very specific. My wife shared some notes with me with what she was looking for.
Meet Jacksonville's Richard Skinner.
I did some research online. I called around the city. I shopped at other stores.
But Richard found the best deal, the best ring, the best customer service at locally owned Beard's Diamonds.
We did shop around that stone and that particular setup with different jewelers, and Beard's was able to come in significantly lower. It was a no-brainer.
But way more than the price, it was truly a beautiful ring in a custom setting with a hand-picked, large, dazzling emerald-cut diamond. Literally breathtaking.
Oh, yeah. When she saw it, she couldn't talk for about 30 minutes. Her eyes got all watery and her face got red, and she almost had a panic attack.
So don't make her settle for a chain store ring. Get something special that reflects her unique style, taste, and personality at Beard's Diamonds.
It's a one-of-a-kind piece.
Beard's Diamonds, Jacksonville's only locally owned direct diamond importer.
I'm the hero.
At the St. John Town Center.
Hey, Hickett here. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks. Man, it's good to be right. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash on any of our football teams this football season. Think about it, man. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns? Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup only on Prize Picks. You know how to play it. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you cash in. Download the Prize Pick app today. Use code 1010XL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code 1010XL, and you get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. It's Prize Picks, man. Have a lot of fun this football season. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
1010XL and 92.5 FM congratulates our hometown Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. They won the National AAA Championship with a 9th inning walk-off home run to win 8-7 over Las Vegas.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Taylor Dahl. I'm Lauren Brooks. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters. Tom Champion hanging out with us as we are live here at the Patriots Outpost. Hole number 8 at the Constellation Furyk and Friends Golf Tournament. And certainly an absolutely gorgeous day here on the First Coast to showcase this tournament and our beautiful city as well. Time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane, driven by Mazda at the Avenues. This is luxury. This is Mazda at the Avenues.
And I'm sure Mazda Avenues would co-sign on this, and I'm sure y'all saw this on social. Josh Hines Allen and his wife, Caitlin, they went ahead and donated tickets and autographed jerseys to all of the staff, the nurses and the doctors at both Wolfson Children's Hospital and Moore's Children's Health. And, of course, that was in thank you. That's right, RJ. Round of applause to them. That was in gratitude and thank you to all of them as their son recently battled leukemia and in August was able to be declared done with his cancer treatment, but I thought that was fantastic. We talked earlier in the week about Liam Cohen and his wife Ashley giving away 100 tickets, 50 pairs of tickets for first responders and teachers to go, and I heard Liam talking about the reason that it was those two groups of people is because his wife's father served in the Air Force for over 30 years, and his mom was a teacher back in the day before she passed away. So I just love all this community love, as we've been sharing here as well at the golf tournament. But just for what Josh Hines Allen and that family have gone through, and to make it out onto the other side is a great thing. And now they're able to really push that forward, too, with the 4-1 for All Foundation.
He's always been a good guy in the community. That's one thing. I mean, you can say a lot of great things about Josh Hines Allen. Off the field, though, he's always been out in front in the community, it seems like, always trying to lend a hand. And you're right, he turned a tragedy that came out great, and now trying to help other people, which is, that's doing the Lord's work, man. And that's what I'm talking about with Jacksonville. It's like we were at the Waste Not, Want Not. And the first thing I said, I've been here 30 years. Every charity event I've ever gone to, whether as a celebrity guest or just to go, it's always well packed. It's always well received. People are everywhere, and they're giving. It's just a phenomenal community, and it does matter when our Jags do things like that off the field, and then when they win, and then they off the field, like that match, man, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think we see every year, obviously here personally with the J Fund and the Radiothon and what it does and how quick the community, and every year we think like you can't do any better, and they do better every single year. This last year I went to the J Fund Wine Gala at Everbank. It was a great event in general. You have fun, you get to chat and network and meet people, but at the same time, everything that it goes towards in the J Fund is amazing. So that's one of the things this community definitely, in times of need, they stand up, and they're big about that.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of causes. Lot of different types of feeding the hungry, sick, what have you, helping the kids out, the less fortunate, whatever. It's all over the place. It's always well received. So congrats, Jacksonville. People always say, why do you stay there? I say the people is number one. There's no doubt.
I will say, I tweeted this out earlier this week, that for Trevor Lawrence's 26th birthday, which happens to be on Monday when they play Monday Night Football, Josh Hines Allen can register 2 sacks, and then he's broken the franchise record, and then that also obviously helps the quarterback too. I just want
I can't believe we're also still waiting for that in Week 5.
I know, but I just want y'all to picture the stadium if and when Josh Hines Allen does break the record, if it is Monday night against the Chiefs, and if the Jaguars do, in fact, beat the Chiefs, just what that place is going to be like.
Oh, it's going to erupt. It's already going to be loud and crazy and rambunctious because that's how Duval is. But if something like that, you get that second sack, and everybody's going to know. Like, they know that's the record, and that's the number. And
absolutely.
It'll be, everyone's going to be going insane. And then if you add a win onto that at the end of it, I don't know if anybody's sleeping on Monday night.
They're going to play the defensive ends, including Josh, especially Josh, are going to play rocks, paper, scissors to go against Jawan Taylor. That's who they want. Josh Hines Allen can get 2 sacks on Jawan Taylor very easily, in my opinion. So that's what I'm doing. Josh is like, come on, get out of here. No. Hey, Trayvon, I know your inside hand might hurt a little bit, but too bad. I got to go against this guy.
I saw the funniest thing. So Jawan Taylor, most people know he false starts a lot because he jumps, and some people say it's legal, some people say it's not. Whatever the refs decide is obviously what it is in that game. But he proposed to his girlfriend this week.
Oh,
I'm sure y'all did. And someone said, he popped up off that knee before she even said yes because he's always moving a little early. I thought that was hilarious. All right, there's one rookie that I want to talk about here that I feel like has gotten a little bit overlooked.
Okay.
You certainly, if you watch the film or you rewatch the games, then you notice him for sure. But I don't know if LaQuint Allen is getting enough of the love for this 3-1 start. And granted, being picked in the 7th round is already an unbelievable accomplishment that he's playing as much as he is. But he's really contributing to this team, and not just on special teams.
Yeah, no, he's been good. Now, he made a mistake on special teams, so we got to be fair there. He can't catch that ball and go out of bounds. I think it was at the 8-yard line on the kickoff. He'll learn from that. Listen, the kid's tough as nails. I mean, I like him because he's scrapping. He likes to get after it against his own teammates sometimes, even during practice. But he is great at picking up the blitz. He not only stops them, he's stoning guys. I tell you, you go back and watch against the Cincinnati game. He chipped Hendrickson so hard that Hendrickson kind of like after because then he went down the field. Hendrickson kind of looked at him like, who was that?
You?
Like,
who are you?
Who just ran into my ribs like that? So he takes that job very seriously. And look, in his time of getting the ball and whatnot, he's shown that he can make some things happen. You know, I mean, look, it's hard to, give carries away and opportunities away from Etienne right
and Tootin,
now.
too.
And Tootin,
Yeah, for sure.
Especially Etienne, his pass game and run game and all that. But when he gets his opportunity, LeQuint, he's my kind of guy, man. He likes to get up there, and you need that. I mean, come on. If you look at the what was it, the last play where Armstead knocked the ball out of San Fran. Go watch Devin Lloyd on McCaffrey. I mean, McCaffrey stopped him, but barely, and then he hits the QB. I mean, it affected the play. You got to have a back that stones that guy so he doesn't go anywhere and allows your quarterback to throw the ball fully and, full all the way through. So very important. Yeah, he's tough. You could tell he was going to at least be on the team early on.
We knew he'd make the team for sure with that pass protection and everything like that. But I do think on special teams, outside of that one mistake, he's been lights out. And you watch him blocking downfield. And, I mean, that's what this whole team has shown to this point, too, right? A night and day difference from last year.
Stuff.
But, yeah, the offensive line on the kick return, like they're trying to, or not the kick return, but on Etienne's long run, they're trying to get downfield with him. Obviously, they're not nearly as fast as he is. But
they're looking for heads.
And they're finishing plays. That's something that the last couple years we just didn't see a lot of at all. It felt like, I mean, you could go back and watch games last year, and guys were just kind of jogging around, and that doesn't feel every single player right now for the Jags. And that's the whole. We talk about the culture, and we talk about that the words they've used in savages and violence. Like that's what they're like instilling in these guys, and you can feel it every single game.
And fast, that's speed.
Yeah.
They're agile.
Well, and they brought those kind of guys in.
Yeah,
right.
So they're foaming at the mouth because the coach is like, "Go be violent."
Yeah, like, LeQuint's like, "Okay,
yeah, I can go get that guy." Yes, go get him, son.
We have a personality test that we want you to take. We're gonna show you an example of like something happens in a bar.
Right.
You tell us what you would do.
What you would do.
I would lay him out. Okay, you're our type of guy. We're gonna draft you. All right. So by the way, congratulations to your Cubs.
Oh, thank you.
I know
it's very stressful at the end.
It was a little controversial towards the end, but I believe that whether it's football and the refs or baseball and the umps, you're never going to get all the calls right.
Yeah, they also missed it. They missed a call on us too that affected a run. So because Nico's we even challenged it and they still messed up that call. So we technically should have had 4 runs. So people can complain about whatever.
But yeah, so
doesn't matter now.
Yeah,
tomorrow
they're having fun.
Tomorrow 2:08 p.m. You'll be locked in as the Cubs are at the Brewers.
Yeah. I hate the Brewers so much, and immediately like my Brewer fan friends are texting me and they're like, "Here we go." We've seen the last couple wild cards because of the break that teams have complained about having to wait too long to play again and being kind of rusty. And this, we'll see if that affects. But the problem with the Cubs right now is they had to go through a lot of their pitching in these 3 games to be able to win that game. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Counsell manages that. And we don't even have our best pitcher yet. He probably won't. Technically, he could come back game 5 if you need it. Okay. But I would doubt, because then you're taking a roster spot for someone that you may actually need to pitch in one of the other games. So I think they may wait until the next series, which that kind of sucks because it's your ace. But yeah.
So it goes to 5 games next?
Yeah.
And does it go to 7 after that?
Yeah, it moves to 7.
Man, I like
3,
that.
5, 7.
Yeah, has it always been that way?
They've changed it. The last 10 years, there's been multiple changes in the way the playoff works.
For the initial, Wasn't they doing 7, or hockey was doing 7? The very first, they're like
initially
7.
Baseball used to just be 1 wild card. You win, you're in,
and
that was so
That's
stressful.
tough. Yeah.
So then we also have Yankees, Blue Jays at 4:08 tomorrow. So both you have Cubs, Brewers in the division, Yankees, Blue Jays in the division, and then we have Dodgers at the Phillies 6:38. That game or that series is going to be amazing baseball to watch. And then
Go Phillies
at 8:38, Tigers, Mariners. I must say, certainly I'll be locked much more into Florida State, Miami than the baseball, but I'll certainly have an eye on what's going on with the baseball. All right, we've got Taylor's Tangent on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels, backed by Green Law Group on 1010XL. 1010XL is your home for play-by-play of Bishop Kenny football.
The Crusaders take a trip to Tally to battle the Raiders in a Friday night football fight. Bishop Kenny Rickards, 7 o'clock on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carlion. Hear from a driver who made the smart move to buying a vehicle from Atlantic Infinity.
Hayes, this is my second Infinity, so I knew exactly what I wanted. And Atlantic Infinity made it so easy for me. The GM Dwayne had my new ride ready to go, and I was in and out of the dealership in about 30 minutes. The Atlantic Infinity promise just sealed the deal for me. It's $2,500 in added value, including roadside assistance. I am so happy with my new car.
Atlantic Infinity, Atlantic, near St. John's Bluff.
Helmets and Heels.
Crown Royal Friday.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your national builder of the year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 3rd, 2004, the Montreal Expos play their final game in their 36-year history, losing to the Mets 8-1.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee and Grammy winner, Peter Frampton. Let's Do It Again Tour. October 29th, St. Augustine Amphitheater. On sale now at AXS.com.
Football is a game of inches, and at Front Runners Tap House, every inch counts. Catch every big play on their massive 396-inch giant television. The ultimate game day experience is waiting for you at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I'm with Trevor from Cycles in Jacksonville. We always talk about Honda and Triumph, so many great bikes, but Aprilia from Italy is also a beautiful line.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and it is a fine sport bike. It's one that when you take your helmet off, you're never frowning. You're always smiling.
So if you want to treat yourself to something really special on the road, that's a line they should look into?
Absolutely, and we've got them in stock and ready to roll.
All right, make sure you check them out. They are on Atlantic near Regency. CyclesofJacksonville.com is a great place to go, or check out their Facebook page at Cycles of Jacksonville.
Helmets and Heels is returning to Vegas. If you're heading out for the big game, join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for a Halloween weekend football getaway, featuring Circa room discounts and a huddle up for everyone in the teal and black. Meet Helmets and Heels Friday night, October 31st, then hit the Circa Stadium Swim with temperature-controlled pools and a massive betting screen. For Circa room discounts and more information, visit the 1010XL webpage or circalasvegas.com/huddleup-up.
Jacksonville, Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coating, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball.
Hopefully, Tom has a crystal ball because he's predicting the Jaguars to win and beat the Chiefs on Monday night. That will be in our picks, so Taylor and I will not yet reveal who we are selecting. But right now, Taylor Dahl has a tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
I see a very nice mullet over there, first of all.
Shout out to whomever is in the mullet.
Yeah.
Very incredible mullet,
it.
I see.
Theo Vaughn, speaking of mullets, is the celebrity guest picker for College Game Day tomorrow.
That'll be hilarious. He cracks me up. He's so funny. But yeah, if you know me, Tommy, I don't know if you know this about me, but I love mullets. It's kind of like my little secret obsession that I have.
Okay.
So you'll
That's
learn.
a secret because it's made it to the radio for years now, but still.
Yeah, Players Championship, we're all looking for the mullets the whole time. But so moving on, I saw a stat yesterday, and it stood out to me in general. It was going around Twitter a little bit. I looked more into it just to kind of see, because I was like, no way, this is actually true. It is. But every Oklahoma starting quarterback from 2015 to 2023 is starting in the NFL this weekend. That's 6 of them.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield was at Oklahoma from 2015 to 17. He's obviously starting. Kyler Murray in 2018. Jalen Hurts in 2019. Spencer Rattler in 2020-21. And then Williams took over in 21, so he was technically 2021. Caleb. And then Dylan Gabriel was there from 2022 to 2023. 6 that Oklahoma quarterback starting in the NFL this weekend. And I saw one that they said the most they could find other than that was NC State, which at that time it was in 2017, Brissett, Phillip Rivers, and Russell Wilson were starting in one weekend. But I did go back and I looked through this whole every quarterback right now. The problem now is everyone moves so much that there's like multiple schools, and it's like, do you count them for whatever? But there are 3 schools that have 3 players, 3 schools that have a player starting this weekend. And I want to say it's Oregon, Ohio State, and USC are the 3. Maybe, I think it's those 3. But only 6 colleges right now this weekend have quarterbacks starting, multiple quarterbacks starting. There's obviously Texas Tech has one, and all of those that go through. But it was just crazy to think that 6 quarterbacks. I also feel like maybe Oklahoma wishes some of those guys didn't leave, because 3 of those guys left Oklahoma.
That is true. Look, I'm guessing Baker Mayfield's the best as I think about it.
Yeah, Baker, Kyler, Hurts has a Super Bowl. I mean, you could.
Yeah, that's true. Jalen. Jalen doesn't get a ton of respect, but he should. I mean,
clearly
he does,
the crowd doesn't like Jalen Hurts.
No,
that was a missed birdie attempt.
I mean, look, you go against Mahomes. Who's beating him? Burrow and Hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mahomes considered the top. Now that Brady's gone, right?
Yeah.
Those 2 have beaten him.
And the crazy thing, like, you've got to give some credit to Oklahoma, because every single one of these also overlap. It wasn't like they even had a hesitation where they didn't have another quarterback waiting. Every single one, they had that next quarterback waiting. And when Baker left, Kyler was there. When Kyler left, Hurts was there. When Rattler left, Williams was there. When Williams left, Gabriel came that next year.
Yeah, it's interesting. Lincoln Riley, you would think, based off of this, would be a guy with a national championship in college football.
Yeah, you're right.
Yet, obviously, he left Oklahoma, went to USC, and had an excellent offense when Caleb Williams was the quarterback, but the defense certainly let them down time and time
about
again.
Defense.
Yeah, you
think
can't
I'll
forget
outscore
about that.
kind of thing. Yeah,
he's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, I got to stop him, too?
But this year, USC, I forget their record right now, but this year, I don't think they're
interesting.
all that good.
No,
they're back in the day, Oklahoma was a wishbone offense. Remember that? That was way back.
Yeah.
Obviously, but, you never think of... I don't know, but when you read that list of QBs, you think, wow, Oklahoma's kind of a QB school.
Yeah.
It must be Lincoln Riley. Is that the connection there? Is that the...
Because Lincoln and Caleb left in 2022, so all of those, Baker came, I think Baker's first year was OC, and then he became head coach Baker's second or third year there.
Okay.
And so, but pretty much the entire time he was running the offense at USC with all of those other quarterbacks, and then brought Caleb with him and got Caleb a Heisman at USC.
Yeah. Didn't Baker take, whose flag did he plant, or their
flag?
That
was Ohio State.
At Ohio State.
In the turf.
I love that
Wasn't
guy.
it that one where it didn't
Baker
stick because it was in the turf?
They have grass, though, I thought, because it's an outdoor stadium.
I remember somebody doing that, and it was a turf.
State,
yeah.
Since I hate Ohio State, I'll never forget that for sure.
Yeah, that was great.
All right, we've got some lunch to give away. I see Chick-fil-A, by the way, floating all around, but we're giving away different Chick-fil-A.
Yes, free lunch to Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010. Let's say caller number 2. You get free lunch to Chick-fil-A today.
Caller number 2. All right, so quick programming note, no Eric Armstead today. I had a feeling we wouldn't be able to connect with him because the schedule is a lot different than a normal week. They're normally off probably this time on Fridays, but hopefully we will have him next week after a Jaguars victory. That would be great. Man. He obviously got the game ball as the Jaguars beat the 49ers when he returned to San Francisco, but we will chat with Jesse Newell to talk all about those Kansas City Chiefs coming up at 3:15. Programming as far as 1010XL goes, reminder, Frangie Show from 4 to 6 on 92.5 FM, while Into the Night with Rick Blue, 4 to 6 on 1010 AM, and then, of course, both the streams on that. College Kickoff with RJ Saunders from 6 to 7. RJ, what's on tap for that show tonight?
Hey, it's Carline coming on with me to talk about all things Florida Gators. Just what are his thoughts as to who perhaps the next head coach can be if Billy Napier's to get fired. Nobody's saying he is or he isn't. And former Florida man, as he likes to call himself, Richard Johnson of CBS Sports, going to take us all around the college football landscape.
All right, sounds good. We will certainly be listening to that. And then following that, Bowles has the night off. So Bowles bye week. So that means Bishop Kenny at Rickards will be on both stations, 92.5 FM and 1010 AM. And then, of course, Friday Night Lights with Hacker and Dylan following all of that. So we will make our picks on the other side. No loser for the month of September.
We
had a tie between Taylor and Tom. There was no loser, so that will have to wait until October.
It was I started 3-7 and ended in 7-3. So hopefully that second part continues because it was rough in the beginning.
Hey, it happens to the best of us. All right, so we will make our picks on the other side. You're listening to Helmets and Heels live from the Patriots Outpost, presented by Vistar at the Constellation Fierick and Friends Golf Tournament on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL. You want to know more about your favorite football team.
That's right.
And John Osher delivers because O knows. Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on 1010XL.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Crown Royal Friday
on Helmets and Heels.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Put the ball in the net with 60 minutes of soccer talk. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 AM.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita, Spicy Guavarita, Old Fashioned, or the Red Bullerita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
Winter and spring registration is already cranking up at I-9 Sports, and if you have kids ages 3 to 17, I-9 Sports is inviting you to get them on the field or in the gym with great sports like girls flag football. Plenty of places to play like Oakley, Fleming Island, UNF, Fletcher, and Creekside. Log on to i9sports.com and see all the sports they have to offer across the First Coast. In Duval, Clay, and St. John's. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Registration open right now for winter and spring sports at i9sports.com.
Helmets and Heels is returning to Vegas. If you're heading out for the big game, join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for a Halloween weekend football getaway, featuring Circa room discounts and a huddle up for everyone in the teal and black. Meet Helmets and Heels Friday night, October 31st, then hit the Circa Stadium Swim with temperature-controlled pools and a massive betting screen. For Circa room discounts and more information, visit the 1010XL webpage or circalasvegas.com/huddleup-up.
Keep your ball out of the rough with the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Get great golf tips from the experts every Saturday morning at 10. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding, so easy to use. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season is finally here, and with that, hopefully comes cooler weather. And if you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space and just haven't pulled the trigger, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures right now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business. Give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. 1010XL will bring you play-by-play coverage of games all levels all weekend long. Starting tonight, the Bishop Kenny Crusaders travel to Rickards for a 7 o'clock kickoff on 92.5 FM. Then Saturday, the Florida Gators host the Texas Longhorns at 3:30 with coverage starting at 12:30. Finally, the Jaguars versus Chiefs on Monday Night Football with 1010XL coverage kicking off at 3. It's 78 degrees at 3 o'clock time and 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
I can feel it. Another month of the picks contest coming in the air tonight.
I always wanted to play that song right before kickoff, before taking the field in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was a dream. Yep, twice. We missed it twice. That's a great tune in the air tonight.
Absolutely. I would have thought I wouldn't have enjoyed anyone covering it until I heard Chris Stapleton cover it for...
Oh, he crushed it.
Yeah, for Monday Night Football.
Crushed it.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
By the way, we've made it an hour into the show, and I haven't even mentioned low cash plays as soon as the golf is over today. So, yeah, be around hole 17, the 17th hole, and you'll get to hear some low cash. And then tomorrow, 11 theft plays right around the same time.
Nice.
So right around 4:15, 4:30, whenever the rounds are over for today. But it is time now for our picks. Basically, we start with a clean slate because it's month to month. So we're going to kick things off with Vanderbilt at Alabama. If I had told y'all 2 years ago that we were going to pick this game, you would have laughed at me. Alabama is a 10.5-point favorite. Tom, we'll start with you.
Thanks, Lauren. Really appreciate that. Let me break down Vandy's defense for you. Listen, I'm
5-0.
10.5. No, I know. I was looking at them on break. Yeah, they did beat South Carolina in the third game. South Carolina, I think it was 11th at the time. South Carolina just beat Kentucky, right? Yeah, it was 31-7, I think, right? So they beat them up pretty good. I think Alabama wins this game, but I think it's closer than 10 and a hook. So I'll take Vandy in the points in this one. And, look, if they shock the world, they did it last year. So, I mean, if you're Vandy, right? Didn't Vandy beat Bama last year?
They did. When Vanderbilt at the time was ranked number 1. Yeah. It was the same night that Florida played UCF. I remember that.
When Alabama was ranked
number 1.
You said Vandy was
ranked
1.
That's okay.
Sorry, Bama was
But yeah, I was like, hold on, did I miss that last year?
Yeah.
So they should be confident. They should go win. They're undefeated. Why not? Bama doesn't feel like the Bama of old right now. You're expecting it to be at some point, but they haven't shown that yet. So, but I do think Bama will pull it out at home. And I think, like I said, I'll take Vandy and I'll take that 10 and a hook.
All right, Taylor?
Yeah, I'm going the same way. I think Vandy covers. I don't know. I don't have the same vibes with Alabama that I have in previous years. I think last week they saved themselves a little bit. Kalen DeBoer saved himself a little bit when it comes to that win against Georgia. But I just don't have the confidence that they're able to cover a 10.5 right now.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I feel like Diego Pavia is going to be someone that's mentioned for Heisman if Vanderbilt can actually win this game. And it's funny, I feel like we look at games through the spread lens, right? Like through the odds lens. FSU was, I think, close to a double-digit underdog against Alabama to start the season.
Yeah.
And they obviously not just covered, they won the football game. So I feel like Vanderbilt has a chance. So I'm actually going Vanderbilt as well to cover the spread. I know. I thought for sure one of us would go a different way.
Yeah.
All right, let's but let's head to Tallahassee as Florida State will kick off against Miami Saturday night, tomorrow night, 7:30. Miami's a 4.5-point favorite. I'll tell you right here, right now, with a bye week leading into this and with how spent I think FSU was against Virginia, I think Miami covers the 4.5-point spread. I'll take the Canes on the road. I think they win by more than a touchdown, as a matter of fact. Taylor?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in the same boat. I think Miami wins, by a touchdown at least. I just feel like they feel like the most complete team right now that you've seen from start to finish. Even, it took them a little bit against Florida, but they just can wear people down, and I think that's going to catch up to Florida State. I think that they're going to be able to limit Castellanos into some of the things that he can do with his legs, and because of that, they'll force some errors, and because of that, I think Miami wins by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, Miami's going to crush. I'm sorry, Florida State.
Oh, man.
And your quarterback is a baby. I don't care what that public lady said to me.
Sorry,
Called
Jacob.
me a baby yesterday, but no, I think Miami's on a mission. And when I watch their D-line, and I haven't watched a ton of Miami, but I watched enough of that D-line against Florida, man. They're
nasty.
They're nasty.
Yeah.
Holy cow. They look like an NFL D-line already. So it's to me, that's going to be the difference. Florida, look, Miami and Florida State, I always feel, throw Florida in there too. They feel like they got the same kind of athletes, right?
Yeah.
They're all big, they're all fast, they're all strong, they're all quick, they all jump, they do all this stuff. But who plays better? I think Cristobal got his team going pretty good. I think they believe in him. Look, we'll see how good Carson Beck is against this Florida State defense, but I think Miami takes him. It takes him, at least by 7.
Yeah, I just think the Florida State defense was so porous against Virginia. That's the thing that I keep going back to.
A lot of
All
points.
Right, let's switch it over to the NFL. The Ravens, the decimated Baltimore Ravens, play host to the Texans. The Texans are now favored by 2 points because it looks like Lamar Jackson won't play, Cooper Rush will, and obviously, like I said, they have a whole slew of other injuries. I am going to still, though, take the Baltimore Ravens at home. I have no idea who wins this game. I just cannot root for the Texans, and I end up rooting for the teams that I select.
Yeah.
But I do feel like maybe this is a Derrick Henry, not coming out party. Everyone knows who Derrick Henry is. But maybe this is the game that he has over 100 yards. So I'll take the Baltimore Ravens. Tom?
Well, they're going to need Derrick Henry, that's for sure, if they're going to win this football game. I don't root. I take the emotion out of it. I don't root for who I pick. I try to win. Other than the Jags, I probably put my emotions into the Jags pick a lot. I got to admit that.
No, I don't put my emotion into who I pick.
No,
but once I make the pick, then I'm emotional towards it.
Yeah, okay. That's
Although
fair
we've
enough.
picked the same exact for the two college
Men are
games.
from
so now
Mars and women are from Venus or something like that. I get it. I get it. All right, so I'm
Women
taking
are
it.
on time, men are late.
That's right. I'm late. I was late. Houston, Texas won't be late. They're going to be on time against the Ravens. And I think it'll be a close one because I don't think either team's, look, the Ravens are really hurting. The defensive tackle's name, I can't remember, but he's a massive.
Justin Madubuike.
Yeah, he had a great year last year as a stud in the interior of their D-line, but they're really hurting. And I think Houston, look, I know they haven't had a good year, but they kicked the living crap out of Tennessee. Was it 26-0?
Uh-huh.
Maybe they're on to something to get back into the race, but I'm going to take them on the road.
Taylor?
Yeah, I don't even know what to expect from this game. I can go back and forth. I can make an argument for each, but I feel like after what I saw from the Texans offensive line this last week, I mean, they had CJ was getting hit in 1 second. They had 6 guys blocking one defender at one spot, and CJ getting wrecked like 10 yards back, losing 10 yards, getting sacked. I don't know if their line can handle anything right now, and because of that, CJ can't settle. He looks terrible because of that. They can't run the ball because of that. I feel like it's going to be like a 10-7 game, honestly, but I think that the Ravens end up winning.
All right. Taylor, will kick things off with you with the wild card. You going college or pro?
I know. I was trying to decide. I think I'm actually going to go college, and I'm going to go the game we were deciding between picking in the beginning, and that's the Texas-Florida game.
Texas minus 4.5.
Is it 4.5? Okay. The most recent at 5.5. Is it 4.5 now?
Okay. We can do whatever you have. 5.5.
5.5 is what I have on here. I'm going to do Texas wins by a touchdown at least. And I know Florida's defense, but I heard Frangie listing the amount of defensive players they have hurt right now, and I think that's going to slowly start catching up with them. And the offense, I just really feel like can't find ways to click. Billy Napier's not leaning into the run the way you wish that he could lean into the run. The offensive line isn't looking as good as people thought they would before the season. And even with Arch not playing what people thought Arch should or could be playing to that level, I think Texas ends up pulling it out.
All right, my wild card, I've got the Cowboys on the road at the Jets. The Cowboys are favored by 2.5. I just didn't see a whole lot out of the Jets, obviously, on Monday Night Football going up against the Ravens. So, not that I think the Cowboys are great, but I do think Dak's been playing really well. So I'll take George Pickens, Dak Prescott, and the Cowboys to win by more than 2.5 at the Jets. And Tom.
So I'm looking at my man Baker Mayfield and his boys heading out to Seattle. So when I actually circled it, I had it at 3.5 points. It went up a point. Seattle favored by 4.5. So that even solidifies it even more. Okay. Seattle may win because they're a good football team. There's no doubt. McDonald's got them playing. To interchange their QB. Darnold, of course, a QB coming in. They got it going on up front. They got a good defense. I think they win the game. I'm not going to be surprised if Tampa wins, but I'll take Tampa in the points. I think Baker Mayfield can keep it close with just about anybody. I really watched a lot of that game from St. Augustine Beach, Candlelight, I think it was called, and the sports bar, and watched Tampa and Philly. And Tampa gave them a run for their money. And Philly, obviously, we know how good they are, but they really did. And Baker almost brought them back. So I think he's going to go toe-to-toe, and they're going to keep it close. They may not win, but I think they'll definitely cover the spread.
And you did get Candlelight correct. So well done.
Beautiful.
All right, so up to the Chiefs and Jaguars. Chiefs are favored by 3 points here in Jacksonville at Everbank Stadium. Tom, I know you're taking the Jaguars. Give us your score prediction again.
Yeah, 25-22. I think it's going to be a real tight game. Here's how in my opinion, how you're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday night. You got to pound the football. You got to be dedicated to the run like you have been. Get ETN outside like Taylor's been saying since the offseason. He's very good at those off-tackle runs, and even if he goes inside, he does a great job of cutting outside. The linemen blocking really well. They give up 5 yards a carry. So the defense of the Chiefs does. So I think we've got a little bit of an advantage there. I think their O-line, not that I think, their O-line has gotten their quarterback killed quite a bit, giving up 28 quarterback hits in 4 games. That's 7 a game against Mahomes. So I think there's some problems. You look at them on paper, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, they're great guard and center. Josh Simmons, a rookie out of Ohio State, which I wish we had. He's up and down, played better recently, but that team as a whole, they're not running the ball well, and they're not protecting their quarterback. And finally, I think we put a spy on Mahomes. I really do. And I think he should be Lloyd. I think he'd be perfect for it, and you may have to mix it up, but don't let him get out of Dodge because he's got him. You can't contain him.
Yeah.
You're going to say, we're going to contain him. Baloney, you're not. There's no way you can. Baloney, you're not going to be able to contain that guy. So when he breaks that containment, go get somebody so he doesn't have time to set or look around and make something happen. Or take off and run.
Yeah. I wonder if Lloyd and Gardeck maybe will be the spies.
You can figure it out.
Yeah. Taylor?
I like it.
Yeah, I'm going Jags too, actually. I think that with what the Jags defense has been able to do, I'm putting a lot of this game on them, and I think that they're going to be able to continue to stop the run. The Chiefs haven't been able to run great anyways, so I think that'll continue. I do think that they'll get a pick, at least one from this. That's just something that is in their blood right now, and so it's bound to happen. And I know Mahomes only have the one turnover right now. but I feel another one on Monday night. And so I think the defense is probably the bigger part for me in this, but I do think that the run game for the Jags gets them scoring and gets them moving down the field a little bit. Maybe we'll see some deep shots from Trevor because they are sending so many guys, and that gives him the opportunity to air it out a little bit. But I do think the Jags win. I think it's lower scoring, though, like 21-17, something like that.
Yeah, last week I thought the keys for the Jaguars against the 49ers would be Brenton Strange and Bashal Tutin. Brenton Strange certainly played a huge role, but it was Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
And once again, I think it's gonna have to be a big night for Travis Etienne. But I do think this passing offense has been able to figure some things out with a little bit of extra time going into this Monday Night Football game. And so I know that they've been frustrated, that passing offense has, and so I hope that they're able to work it out. And certainly Monday night would be a fantastic time. I think it is going to be insanely loud, and we're going to see false starts on the Chiefs and holds and things like that. So I think the Jags win, but I also think it's close.
Yeah,
I think
let's
it's
not do that on our side.
Right, 24-20, something along those lines.
Well, listen, look, it's hard to separate what the Chiefs have done in the past coming into this year, but this year some people are saying they've hit their bow too, but Baltimore's not the best, barometer. I mean, and Mahomes went off. He had 4 touchdowns in that game, like I said earlier. So, I don't think he's going to have that kind of output against us. He's capable of it, but I think a lot of times people are like, oh, it's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. Yeah, it's the Chiefs. They got a tight end that's more in love with his woman than football. You got a quarterback that's leading their team in rushing. Right. They don't even have a running game. Yeah. They don't got any superstars on the outside. Worthy he's great, at least last week, but he's not a super duper star. So they're just a team that's trying to find their way, just like you are. I think you're ahead of the game if the Jags compared to now, 4 games in. I think we're a little bit ahead of them, playing a little bit better football. They do some things better than us, there's no doubt, but overall, I think our Jags are playing better football. They got a great shot to win this game.
Let's see what Jesse Newell thinks. He covers the Chiefs, and he's on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels live from the Constellation Furyk and Friends ViStar Patriots Outpost on 1010XL and 82.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Greenlaw Group Studios.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
That's why we give you Pre-Game Friday. Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day.
You like that?
Built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Gene Coleman in Jacksonville at 904-764-4139.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
It's a Crown Royal Friday. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Sometimes you agree with him, sometimes you don't.
On the runway, I'm coming in hot.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
It's time to get up and go to the Jacksonville Fall RV Show, Thursday through Sunday, October 2nd through 5th at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center, with hundreds of RVs on display with lifestyle booths, and register to win $250 gift cards every day. It's Northeast Florida's largest RV show, Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 5, Sunday, 10 to 4. Adults, $10, kids under 12, free. Seniors get half off on Thursday. Military and first responders, half off every day. It's the Jacksonville Fall RV Show. show.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here for Big Chief Tire. If you need new tires, Big Chief has affordable options to fit every budget and every vehicle. Their team of experts will help you find the right tires and make sure they're installed quickly so you can get back on the road. But don't wait. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and explore their great tire deals. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY and take the fear out of the fight. Offices, Jacksonville.
Clogged toilet, too much paper, deeper blockages, or one of your child's Hot Wheels could be the culprit. Superior Plumbing and Pipeline and handles toilet clogs fast. If your toilet's clogged, make the superior choice. Learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Frank Frangie here. Bono's Pit Barbecue has been serving up legendary barbecue on the First Coast for over 75 years. And this month only, Bono's has loaded barbecue tater tots. That's smoked pulled pork on top of tater tots with melted cheddar cheese sauce. You won't find this anywhere else. And with 18 Bonos around town, there's always one nearby. You can see all the locations at bonosbarbecue.com. Remember, the loaded barbecue tater tots are served for a limited time only, so don't miss out. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this fine Friday afternoon live from the ViStar Patriots Outpost at the 5th Annual Constellation Furyk and Friends. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters and Tom Champion making it all happen from here at the Outpost. And we welcome in Jesse Newell to talk all things Jaguars and Chiefs. Jesse, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So Jesse is the Chiefs beat reporter for The Athletic, so certainly he is very plugged into everything that is Kansas City and these Chiefs. How much discussion this week, Jesse, has been about the Jaguars' defense's takeaways?
Actually, a lot. You know, it's funny with the Chiefs because they kind of sometimes exist in their own environment here, whether it's, you know, Travis Kelce or Andy Reid or Patrick Mahomes or Taylor Swift or whatever it may be. You know, sometimes they sort of have their own gravitational pulls that kind of leaves you not really talking much about the other team. But this has been a lot of Jaguars talk. And, yeah, the 13 takeaways has been a big point of discussion this year. And, you know, the Jaguars being opportunistic, always being around the football, you know, having the sort of linebackers and then obviously edge rusher who can make things very difficult on opponents. So, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, all those guys have been asked about those sorts of questions. But you can tell that it does have the Chiefs' attention. But at the same time, the Chiefs have been really good in this particular area this year. It's something I wrote about today at The Athletic, which is they have one giveaway this whole season. And so this is kind of an intriguing matchup in that regard just because it really is strength on strength when you're talking about that particular part of the game.
Yeah, Jesse, that's something that we've definitely mentioned is the Patrick Mahomes being very safe with the ball this year. Early last year, there were some issues. But when we heard from Trevor Lawrence this week when he was asked about the Kansas City Chiefs defense, he used the word chaos. That kind of stuck out to me because we know that Spags does all sorts of crazy things and he shows different looks and all of that. But what is really working this year when it comes to that side of the ball and multiple guys when it comes to Karlaftis and Jones and Norman Lott and all of those guys?
Yeah, so the first week, if you go back to the game in Brazil, the Chiefs lost to the Chargers. The Chiefs really sat back a lot in zone and got carved up. And I think immediately after that, they sort of knew that something needed to change, something needed to happen to not basically let that happen again or to at least change up the philosophy a little bit. And since then, yeah, it's been kind of Steve Spagnuolo YOLO sort of thing because he's bringing blitzes from everywhere. They love. If you have a condensed split, you better be ready for a slot cornerback to come blitz you because he loves blitzing guys off the slot. But game to game, week to week, the Chiefs, what they do so well with Steve Spagnuolo is he has a complicated playbook, and he has so much stuff he can do, but they really kind of cheesecake factory this menu to you because they figure out what you don't do as well, and then they try to figure out a way to kind of pick at those weaknesses. And so you see something different every week. Like last week, Nick Bolton, their middle linebacker, had 5 unblocked pressures on Lamar Jackson, really made his life difficult. And Nick Bolton usually isn't a blitzer for them. He's not usually a guy that comes free to the line. So it's just something you don't normally see. But I will mention their cornerbacks have really stepped up after that first game. That's allowed them to basically play this very aggressive style, but not get burnt on deep passes. I mean, usually when you play aggressive, you play cover zero, which the Chiefs play more cover zero than any team out there. Bring everybody, no safety help. But usually you get burned downfield, and the Chiefs are one of the best teams in the NFL at defending the deep pass. And so they kind of get their cake and they eat it too in this particular way. So, yeah, expect the blitzes to come from a lot of different areas. Expect Steve Spagnuolo to be aggressive. And like I said, after that first game against the Chargers, something had to change up because when they sat back and just sort of let Justin Herbert dictate terms, that was not very good for them. So they become an aggressive defense. And as you talked about, on the front line, it's starting to come together a little bit. Chris Jones is himself. George Karlaftis had 2 good weeks in a row. And then the guy to really watch is Charles Omenihu, who has had good moments for the Chiefs, but last week was his best game. He had 4 quarterback hurries in that game against Lamar Jackson. So if those guys are all working well together, along with the rookie Omar Norman-Lott, all of a sudden this pass rush can kind of catch up to the secondary, and the Chiefs might have both of those ends of the defense working together as one.
Jesse, great to have you on the show. The stats say you guys have trouble stopping the run at 4.9 yards per carry. What do you say when you look at the Chiefs' run defense?
I say the stats are right. Honestly, if I was going to pinpoint something for the Jaguars in this game, I would say you look at their offensive line, you look at their run game, you look at Liam Cohn, what he does, with the run schemes that they do and kind of has picked up things there. That's an advantage. That's an advantage the Jaguars have going into this game. And the one caveat I will say is that a little bit got skewed last week if you're just looking at raw numbers because Justice Hill in complete garbage time had I think it was 71-yard touchdown run. The Chiefs don't really give up big plays in the run game, but they will get gashed for 8 to 10 or 5 to 8, and you can get consistent yardage off of them. So the thing that was really puzzling last week, and I know this was from people that cover the Ravens, the people that are national scale, and even people that cover the Chiefs, was when you have a guy like Derrick Henry, the Baltimore really gave up on the run game pretty early in that game. And the Chiefs don't, their interior defensive linemen, they don't really have a true run-stopping guy there. I mean, they got Derek Nottie back on a late trade in the preseason, but, he's not top of the NFL at that. And behind him is basically Jerry Tillery, who's more of a pass-rushing guy, or Omar Norman-Lott, who's a rookie who's better in the passing game, pass rush game than he is the run-stop game. So they really rely on their cornerbacks to flow downhill, their safeties to flow downhill, and then a guy like Nick Bolton to kind of cover up for those mistakes. But you can get a couple yards off of them block-wise if you just block it well, and we know the Jaguars' offensive line can block well. So I think that has to be the Chiefs' biggest defensive concern going into this, which is sometimes they get bailed out not only by their offense but by the other offensive coordinators. Like, teams kind of abandon the run, they get behind, they panic a little bit, and I do think that's an area where you can get the Chiefs. It's just they haven't been really tested as much lately, and that's been a little bit of a surprise, especially in that Ravens game when you have a guy like Derrick Henry.
Jesse Newell of The Athletic with us, who covers the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, Jesse, you mentioned her name, Taylor Swift. She did drop the album last night. Is that part of your job to have already listened to it?
Well, it's part of my job as a dad of a 10-year-old daughter. So it's happened a little bit. Guys, I thought this was made up this morning, but it really just does throw a wrench into things when you're covering the Chiefs. And you never know, really, when you're going to have a Taylor Swift story. But evidently track number 9, which we're not going to name on this particular show, is all about a certain body part of Travis Kelce's. And so, it comes part of the job, I guess. So I don't know if I'm ever going to have to ask this at a press conference. I'm hoping not. But, yeah, if my 10-year-old daughter comes home tonight and starts singing some lyrics and, it's the song number 9 on Taylor's new album, I'm going to have to wonder exactly what to do as a dad in that particular regard.
I got to just skip over that one maybe for a little while. Jesse, when we're talking about the offensive line, this is something, going back to the Super Bowl, it kind of felt everybody watching saying, oh, this is how you beat the Kansas City Chiefs, is you just wreck their offensive line and get to Patrick Mahomes as much as possible, which seems or sounds easier than it actually is, I guess. But talk a little bit about that line so far this season.
Yeah, it's been better, and I think Patrick Mahomes has said something very interesting here recently. I mean, he's pretty open when he talks about trying to make off-season changes. I wrote about one today where he's throwing it more into tighter windows than he has in the past. He's on pace to set a career high with that. He's usually been a guy that's avoided those risks, and so we kind of talk about that contradiction there where you're making more tight window throws, you're throwing the ball deeper downfield, which is another thing he had his teammates hold him accountable to this offseason, but yet you only have the one turnover, which is that ball that was to Kelsey in the Eagles game. Kelsey kind of threw to the other team. So the Chiefs are a little bit of a contradiction here in that particular regard because, Patrick Mahomes is doing one thing and kind of taking more risks, but still able to get the benefits of not taking risks. But for the offensive line, one thing he said he's trying to do, he's trying to stay in the pocket, have faith in them, scramble less, and get to his second and third read. We've seen more of that in recent weeks. We saw a lot of it last week against the Ravens. And so the more comfortable he feels, the better he feels, the more he gets to his targets and scanning the field better. We see a better and different Patrick Mahomes, and that's why last week that was one of his best performances we've seen in quite some time just because he was hitting his back foot, he was feeling confident in the pocket, and he was hitting his receivers down the field. And so, it's not been perfect, and I think the big concern for the Chiefs in this game is Josh Simmons, a left tackle. He's been about a league average left tackle for them, which is a huge improvement over anything they've had lately, but he's still a rookie, and he's still going to be very much tested against a Jaguars defensive line we know can get after the passer, and we know has created some havoc so far this year. So it's been better for the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is feeling more comfortable, but that doesn't mean the Jaguars can't get after certain matchups. And again, Josh Simmons is the one to watch on the left side. He's been great for the Chiefs. He's been everything they could ask as a rookie, but can you get him sometimes? You can, and this is going to be a big matchup for him, a big test for him, just 5 games into his rookie year.
Jesse, I feel like I've been hearing all week that the Chiefs are hitting their stride. You went toe-to-toe with Philly. Obviously, I already talked about the Chargers. You've done well against the Giants, and then you kicked the crap out of the Ravens. Do you feel, after covering this team, are they starting to hit their stride?
Well, it reminds me sort of like watching the MLB playoffs where the Guardians were hitting their stride and the Tigers weren't, and then all of a sudden they play a series and things can switch pretty quickly. The Chiefs have to feel good about what happened last week. There's no doubt. But, can we talk about why that happened? I mean, is it because Xavier Worthy was back? That's probably part of it. Is it because Patrick Mahomes played well? Yeah, that sure seems like it. Is it because the Ravens were down 5 starters and lost 2 more during the course of the game on the defensive side? The Chiefs would be struggling defensively, too, if you're missing 5 starters. So there's a lot of things going on here at the same time. They're entering this game with confidence, and they should. And, frankly, last year they started off 15-1, but they didn't have many games offensively that looked like that. And I even put this in my story over the weekend. The last time the Chiefs had scored 35 points in a game before last week was Chicago Bears game at home in 2023. That actually was the first game that Taylor Swift showed up to for her new boyfriend, Travis Kelce. So you're talking about a, dating, courtship, engagement, fiance, like all that took place between when the Chiefs scored 35 points in 2 games. It feels different for them, but can they sustain it? Can it happen again? Can they do it against the Jaguars defense, which we talked about, takes the ball away as well as any team in the NFL? That's the big question, and they got to be good here soon because these next 2 weeks are really important for them. They're getting Rashee Rice back from NFL suspension, their dynamic receiver in Week 7. But it's this week at the Jaguars and next week at home against the Lions. And so you can have all these great feel-good vibes at 2-2, but if all of a sudden you're at 2-4, things look a little bit different and things feel a little bit different. So I think they have reason to be confident of where they're standing right now, but they've got to translate that to results. And this big result coming up Monday is a huge one for the course of the season until they get fully healthy, until they get their full roster back, and that goes back to Rashee Rice.
Absolutely. Jesse, are you coming to Duval for the game?
I will be there, yes. Hopefully the thunderstorms stay away for the flights and the rain and the delays. But I don't know if you guys are going to cooperate down there. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know about that as well, but that's a little out of our control. But either way, we do hope you have a safe flight and enjoy your time here in Jacksonville. Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
There he goes. Jesse Newell. Look, it's going to be
ready.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a great fight.
The fact that all 3 of us are picking the Jaguars honestly does surprise me a little bit just because of who the matchup is against. All right, we've got more to do here live from the VyStar Patriots Outpost for the Constellation Furyk and Friends Golf Tournament. It's the 5th annual. And by the way, I can tell you that Cameron Percy is leading this tournament. He shot 8 under today and is in the clubhouse with a 64.
Ooh,
64.
nice.
The next best are some guys in the clubhouse, or one guy in the clubhouse at Chad Campbell at 5 under, and then Gene Sowers is still on the golf course. He's also 5 under. He's through 15, but he started on the back 9. So there's your update as we go along. David Duval, by the way, certainly a popular name. Exactly.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He is in the clubhouse at 4 under, shot a 68 today. So good rounds out there, even though it was
I used to
super
live
windy.
across the street from his mom and dad.
Oh,
in
did you?
Neptune Beach
Nice.
when I was playing with the Jags.
I love that.
Sherry and Bob.
Love that.
They were
Shout out.
fantastic.
I bet they might be out here if they're still with
I
us.
think Sherry is not with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
but they
his
were
father.
fantastic. They were awesome.
I love that.
Great family.
More to do on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and heels.
Backed by Green Law Group.
For the insured.
Fighting for you. The bank opens for business and America watches when the Monday night lights turn teal. It's pride, power, and primetime swagger. Feel the Duval energy. Jaguars, Chiefs. It's Monday Night Football on 1010XL.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Helmets and heels. Crown Royal Friday.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like EVO implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we know not every injury happens on Sundays. Sometimes it's flag football, weekend yard work, or just playing with your kids. That's why we built a team of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, experts in everything from knees and shoulders to spine and sports injuries. Whether you're chasing championships or chasing your dog, we've got you. Learn more at osjax.com. That's osjax.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, why is it that when you look at how long a store has been in business, that it always seems to be the stores like Underwood's that sell fine quality that have been around the longest?
Frank, that's a question that really doesn't get asked a lot, but it should be. There are a number of reasons, but probably the biggest is because of the endorsements our longtime customers and their pieces of jewelry have given us through the years. You see, when you sell really fine quality jewelry, that piece will last longer and always stay beautiful. It might stay in the same family for generations. And through those years of wear, a lot of compliments will be made and a lot of people will be told where the piece of jewelry came from. You see, at a store like Underwood's, it's our stated goal to be the best jeweler in the South, not the biggest. So everything we do and carry has to help move us toward that goal. And ultimately, it's the satisfied customers wearing fine quality jewelry that have kept Underwood's in Jacksonville since 1928.
Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Jaguar fans, Palm Beach Autographs is putting together a Fanatics exclusive with a chance for you to meet and get an autograph from Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr. All the details are at palmbeachautographs.com. It's happening October 28th at Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall.
Looking for the ultimate tailgate spot this football season? Front Runners Tap House has 20-plus televisions, including a massive 396-inch television, so you won't miss a single play. Sink your teeth into extra crispy brine wings, smash burgers, and flatbreads. Fan favorites inspired by the local. Cold beer, a full bar, and the sound always on for every big game. Bring the family and catch every touchdown at Front Runners Tap House, inside the Community First Igloo.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Congratulations, Bjork and friends. They definitely like their cold beer. We've seen lots of beers go by with all those birdies happening out here.
Right.
Everybody having a great time here at the Patriots Outpost, located near the 8th Green. Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, I'm Lauren Brooks. RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters. Tom Champion making it all happen from here and having just a great time on this gorgeous Friday afternoon. By the way, does your band, the Dad Bods, have y'all ever done chicken fried?
No, we normally don't do country, but lately we might.
You've been.
I know. I've been putting together.
Working on some country songs.
Yeah, man.
So I think some more country needs to come your way. I'm happy to provide a set list if you go. So desire.
Maybe we'll try. It's all in the drummer. For some reason, he doesn't like country.
All right, I'll have to have a chat with him. And y'all play next Friday?
We do. We're at the local at Neptune Beach.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, back at the local. Looking forward to it.
Time to celebrate 10-10 Day.
10-10 Day, baby. Yep. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely love it. All right, on the opposite side of things, time now for today's Terminix Pest of the Day. Is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. If you have any pest issues at your house or your business, make sure you contact them. They will give you a free consultation. They do a great job at our house handling all of our needs, just like they do at Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Los Angeles Rams last night lost, like we mentioned earlier, to the 49ers, a beleaguered 49ers team, that is. And the Rams were our selection for our survivor pool.
Oh, no.
So we are now knocked out of the survivor pool, and I blame Sean McVay and Kyron Williams and that whole Rams offense. The fumbles were certainly
at the goal line.
Killers at the goal line. But then also McVay's decision just not to kick the field goal.
Yeah.
They're in overtime, and this is a bummer, a real bummer. This is my first time playing in a survivor pool, and I was really gunning to win it. I have to say, I never thought I would actually win. I don't have any inside information, or anything like that on these teams, like some people think we do. But I really did want to at least go deep into this thing, and knocked out after 4 weeks is just killing me today. I barely slept last night. I'm
so
way too
funny.
competitive.
You are very competitive. You weren't last because there was
I
other
wasn't last.
people that
People were
got knocked out
after
week one.
Yeah.
That's right.
You are correct.
So you weren't the total
But
loser.
still, no, I'm not a loser, but if you're not first, you're last in my book. So, yeah.
Speaking of that game, though, when it comes to, because I was reading about how McVay and Shanahan are like best friends, and so they use
Just like Liam Cohen and Robert Saleh.
Yeah, BFFs. But they really are best friends, and I guess that game to them when they play is like their Super Bowl, and so they like trash talk each other all the time, and they both like go back and forth, and so that game for them is just like an extra level up. But Shanahan's kind of had McVay's number. Mm-hmm. I'm like, go Kyle in that sense.
Yeah, and happy for Mac Jones, man. He played lights out. Did
you see his suit?
Yeah, I did.
His suit? Oh, yeah.
Like heading into the game.
Yeah, they're like two-tone different.
Yeah, like the red and black suit.
Yeah.
Like he looked like a villain. And then in my world now, he is the villain, even though he's from Jacksonville.
Yeah, he like the Joker. But red
he played.
and black.
Look, he played great.
He really
and
did.
Christian McCaffrey
had a little scare with an injury, but then kept going.
Yeah, they need to put the ball. Yeah, to Christian McCaffrey and then Kendrick Bourne, who had the big drop against the Jaguars a week ago. It's interesting with this Jaguars season. You lose to a Bengals team that now that loss looks even worse.
Right.
You beat a 49ers team, and people were kind of brushing it off. The 49ers are 4-1.
Yeah.
And yes, they've dealt with injuries, but that's a winning organization. And so that win, I think, looks even a little bit better now.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, it's all in perspective. I mean, you could, if you're a San Fran station or a fan, you might look at last week's game a little differently than we do. But that's okay. That's how the NFL is. And at the end of the day, we're 3-1. They're 4-1. We're trying to get to 4-1. And if we pull off this win Monday night, I mean, we're sending a ripple through through the NFL saying, hey, man, it's not just, a little glimpse. I think these guys might be for real. Now, it depends how the game goes and all that, but I'll tell you what, after talking to Jesse, I'm more fired up for Monday night than ever because they're they're coming to play. I do think people get caught up in what they've done in the past and that, you're just expecting that. But it's a new year. It's a new time.
Yeah.
And it's a season of first. I mean, we've been through this, right? We just got done going to the West Coast, winning for the first time in a long time. We haven't beaten the Chiefs in 8 games. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Like, they've beaten us 8 times in a row.
We've never
Season
beaten
of
Mahomes.
first.
Yeah, Devin Lloyd is the first Jaguars player to be named AFC Player of the Month since Mike
20
Peterson
years.
in 2005.
Right?
That's
Season of
wild,
first.
actually.
It is,
That's
because
what I'm talking about.
what happened to the
2017. That's my first thought, was like, nobody in 2017 got that.
Yeah, it should have been AJ
Calais or
Boye.
Boye, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I
No,
agree.
that's
Miles Jack.
surprising.
By the way, for the McManus trio, quad, I suppose, of women, I saw this Studio Sage at the Fan Entertainment Zone, Tom, will provide fans with hair tinseling. Hair tinseling is when they will put streams of black, teal, and gold plus pink in women's hair and men's hair on Monday, like I said, at the Fan Entertainment Zone at the Jaguars Stadium at Everbank. And that is in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Nice.
So
I love that.
I think that the hair tinseling, I know that sounds like very girly, or suppose, but I think it'll be super cool to have fans.
It's like festival-y.
Yeah, and this first Duval Monday night will be by Scott Van Pelt. A lot of people were wondering why the Jaguars asked him to do it. He has ties to this area.
Scott's cool.
Yeah,
I met
he's
Scott
good.
a couple times. He's a good guy.
Yeah, and his wife's family is all from here. And he said his brother-in-law works for the team as well. So for everyone wondering why Scott Van Pelt, that is your answer.
Get that tinted like my bushy eyebrows.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. Tom Frilly could do it. Look at him, man. He got some squirrels.
You just have tinsels hanging down your face.
Yeah.
The whole
I don't know if you'd be able to watch the game as
I need a little
well.
wiper.
But I'm sure they could figure out a way with your regular head of hair. All right, 1 second to go here live from the Patriots Outpost at the Constellation Furyk and Friends Golf Tournament on 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels, provided by Green Law Group.
Frank Frangie here. Bono's Pit Barbecue has been serving up legendary barbecue on the First Coast for over 75 years. And this month only, Bono's has loaded barbecue tater tots. That smoked pulled pork on top of tater tots with melted cheddar cheese sauce. You won't find this anywhere else. And with 18 Bonos around town, there's always one nearby. You can see all the locations at bonosbarbecue.com. Remember, the loaded barbecue tater tots are served for a limited time only, so don't miss out. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Crown Royal Friday on Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels is returning to Vegas. If you're heading out for the big game, join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for a Halloween weekend football getaway, featuring Circa room discounts and a huddle up for everyone in the teal and black. Meet Helmets and Heels Friday night, October 31st, then hit the Circa Stadium Swim with temperature-controlled pools and a massive betting screen. For Circa room discounts and more information, visit the 1010XL webpage or circalasvegas.com/huddleup-up.
Hey, Jaguars fans, Crown Royal is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars this season. It's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, feeling game day with the generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/royal rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Remember, please drink responsibly.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask. So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Now, the Florida Gator Report tonight on 1010XL. Brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The Florida Gators are through their first bye week of the season, focusing their attention now on a showdown in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium when the 9th-ranked Texas Longhorns come to town this Saturday for a 3:30 kickoff. 1010XL brings you live coverage of Saturday's game with pregame festivities beginning at 12:30 on 92.5 FM.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Sports fans, this is David Garrard here. And if you're suffering from orthopedic soreness, make an appointment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists where everyone is treated like a pro.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
I can see that.
We talked a little bit about that San Francisco Rams game on that last segment, and so there was 4.
Yeah, my pest of the day.
Oh, sorry.
Rams,
sorry.
the pest.
Oh, your pest.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know. They're
I'm still
always your
mad.
pest. I know. That really is very frustrating. But so the matchup, there was 4 of the 9 teams that were 3-1. 2 of them played last night in San Francisco and the Rams. So now the Rams obviously move on to 3-2, and the Niners are 4-1. The other one is Tommy's pick when it comes to Tampa and Seattle. They're both 3-1. A couple little tidbits out of that. Since joining Tampa in 2023, quarterback Baker Mayfield leads the NFL with 77 touchdown passes and ranks second with 9,448 passing yards. Buccaneers wide receiver Emeka Egbuka, we've talked a ton about him, leads all rookies with 282 receiving yards and 4 touchdown receptions this season, and has recorded a touchdown catch in 3 of his first 4 games. In the past 20 seasons, from 2005 to 2024, only 4 players have had a touchdown catch in 4 of their first 5 career games. And that's Martavis Bryant, Jamar Chase, Terry McLaurin, Hakeem Nicks. So he can set some records this weekend. Emeka can and help you if you need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not rooting for him.
I know.
Remember?
I'm not.
Go
I'm just saying for you, but I'm not rooting for it to happen.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think when you, at least with Tampa, they got Evans out, right? So that's a big loss. Big something happened. Bucky Irving's out.
Yeah,
they got
Birdie,
Rashard White.
Yeah.
He was a good running back.
Yeah.
So
Buka's been phenomenal.
Man. It'll be fun.
By the way, Seattle leads the NFC in scoring defense, only allowing 16.8 points per game, and have recorded 7 interceptions this season, tied for the second most in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a good game.
It'll be a good game.
That'll be fun. Hopefully we can watch. I don't know what the lineup is just on network TV this weekend, now that the Jags aren't.
Yeah, I'm not sure either,
hopefully
honestly.
you get 2 games. Sometimes you don't, which is a drag. But nonetheless, there's some good games this weekend.
Yeah.
There are.
That's why people say that's why you get the Sunday ticket, because of, for that very reason, so you can watch multiple things.
I used to have the ticket. And then I didn't watch it enough, so I got rid of the tickets.
Yeah, for me, it's not worth it because I'm usually, for home games, I'm downtown. And then what I've also learned in life is, and I know some people will argue for the quad box, I feel like you can only concentrate on one game and maybe one other game. I feel like otherwise you're just kind of scoreboard watching. You're not actually seeing what happens in the game. But maybe there are people that are more talented than me. Just wanted to let everyone know, by the way, Monday we will be 2 to 3 p.m.
Yeah, right.
And then the kickoff show will get started right after that. So 2 to 3 p.m. we are going to have a Fast and Furious show.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
On Monday. And we will also chat with AEW wrestler Harley Cameron. So that'll be fun. Yeah, absolutely.
I
Super
think
excited about that.
we should see if she'll put Taylor in some kind of, one of those suplexes.
I was about to say, I think we should see if you two can arm wrestle.
I think she's joining us by phone, so I don't think that there will be any of those hijinks. Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
But yeah, I read that her younger brother got her into wrestling because he was a huge fan of The Undertaker.
Okay.
So that was kind of how she originally got into it and things like that.
I don't think we realize how banged up those people
they're constantly injured.
They
also, I don't think people realize, and I honestly didn't even realize this until we had, what was her name? Tony from the AEW. We had her on, and she was talking about like how much work they actually put in because, I mean, it's not just like, you have to be muscle. You have to be able to take care of your body because you are getting slammed around on the ground, and there's a lot of things going on. So,
for sure,
credit to them.
Chat with her on Monday. For now, let's chat with Hayes Carline.
The 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, we are live here at Constellation Fierick and Friends on this beautiful day, but you are back at the 1010XL headquarters for one final show in that building.
Yeah, hard to believe. End of an era. And it's been fun listening to all the coverage out there at Fierick and Friends. So I'm sure you guys are having a wonderful time. And yeah, we're looking forward to today's Frangie show. Pete will join us, Pete Prisco, to talk all things Jaguars and NFL. That'll be a lot of fun. That's usually around 5:15. And I had a chance to catch up with DeJuan Smoot and Brenton Strange in the locker room a little bit ago, so we will have that for you as well. We'll make our picks. Lots to get to coming up on the Frangie Show.
Yeah, more reps is what I would guess for DeJuan Smoot on Monday night if Trevor Walker can't play. And even if he can play, obviously with a bit of an injury.
Yeah, that's what I would think as well, and hopefully Trevon will be active. But yeah, Smoot's been playing well, and if he can get 10, 15 more reps, that'd probably be a good thing for the defense. But hopefully they have Trevon. That would be so incredible, and obviously with Hines Allen so close to the sack record as well, and that's what it's going to take. You got to frustrate Mahomes and pressure him. So big game coming up Monday night. Can't wait.
You got that right. Thanks, Hayes.
Thank you.
We'll be listening.
What if the cast will leave his thumb free? Then he can at least. It's going to hurt.
Some sort,
You know what I mean? But if they club the thumb, it's hard to do anything with that hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also don't want to be on the receiving end of a Trayvon Walker club. Club hand.
Well, it depends what it hits.
I don't want to be on the receiving end of Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, period.
Yeah, you got that right. We so appreciate everyone here at ViStar and the Patriots Outpost, and of course our friends at Constellation Fierick and Friends. What a fantastic event, and certainly come on out. The 454-hole tournament. I promise I got that right. 54-hole tournament began today and will finish on Sunday. There's obviously no Jags football on Sunday, so come on out, and they will have football on for you, both tomorrow with college football and then the pros on Sunday. For Tom McManus, for Taylor Dahl, for RJ Saunders, for Tom Champion, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Monday from 2 to 3, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next.
You keep lying when you ought to be truthing.